Hi friends, welcome to another episode of French Food Friday. On this French Food Friday, it's a special day because I'm here with my friend Corbin, who I went to college with, and I'm in his kitchen. Today we're making pain perdu, a traditional French dish. What you're going to need for pain perdu is a baguette that's a couple days old, a couple eggs, some milk, a little bit of butter, and a little bit of sugar. The first thing that you're going to do is to cut your baguette into pieces. You're going to try to make them pretty long. I cut this at an angle where I could make them as long as I wanted to, so I had a little extra piece right here to snack on. So you're just going to cut your whole baguette into a bunch of pieces just like this. Voila! Next you're going to put some butter in a pan and warm it up real good. Try to get it all around the bottom of your pan so that it coats it. And then you're going to take your 2 eggs and add a little bit of salt to them and then whisk them up real good. Once your eggs are whisked together, then you're going to go and you're going to get your milk. Add a little bit of salt to your milk and then mix it in. At this point you're probably wondering, wait, Jacob, aren't you making French toast? Yes, pain perdu is actually the origin of French toast. But with pain perdu, you put it in your milk first and then your eggs. You don't mix the two together. So you're going to do that with all of your baguette pieces and then put them in your frying pan that you have butter in. Once your pain perdu has reached a dark brown and gold color, you're going to want to flip all of them. Next comes plating. Just put them on a plate, and what you're going to do is add a little bit of sugar to the top of your pain perdu.
Now for part 2. For part 2 of French Food Friday, we're going to take the egg and the milk that we have. This is a more traditional French toast.
I just realized that I wasn't recording, so that volume might not be as good as it usually is. Better. But you take your leftover eggs, gonna mix that in with your milk right here. You're going to add a little dash of vanilla, say probably about a lid full, so not a whole lot, but a pretty good amount. Going to add some cinnamon, add about two teaspoons of sugar. The extra half of French Food Friday is just winging it. There's no rules in French Food Friday Part 2. You just kind of do what you want to do. Because this is the new American Jacob with the Hannah Project version of French Food Friday. Well, I guess every episode of French Food Friday is the Jacob with the Hannah Project version of French Food Friday. But now that you have your more current contemporary mixture, we're going to go around here back to the stove. Now have some more butter in your pan, and we picked up some brioche bread from Kroger. We're going to make some more French toast. Let that get in there good, give it a few flips. So again, put this down in your pan. Oh, I just realized that my mic is over here, so I'm talking to a wall. There we go. Once you have gotten both sides of your French toast golden brown like you got your pain perdu, you're going to put it on a plate and you're going to add a little bit of butter to the top of it. And bon appetit! Corbin, in French culture, whenever you're eating, your knife is in your right hand and your fork is in your left hand, and you never switch hands. Like whenever you cut, like you just go for it. So here's the one French toast, and here's the pain perdu. Like I said, I think it was last week or sometime, the bread does go on the table, but if it's bread like this, I don't think that they would put it on the table. Alright, so I say let's try the pain perdu first, and then we'll see how it goes. Bon appetit! I don't know what I was expecting, but that's a lot better than I was expecting. I think that I could have soaked it a little bit longer to get more of the milk and the egg in there. But this is going to sound really dumb, but it really reminds me of French breakfast, like whenever I was in France.
I think this is better than the regular French toast.
I think that even though the purpose of making pain perdu was to take old stale bread and make it softer, the way that French bread just is, it's still kind of, you get a pretty good jaw workout in with it. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this. Even though that it doesn't have the sugar and the vanilla and all the other things that you have in a American French toast, like this is still surprisingly sweet and really rich and savory, and has a nice crispy crunchiness without it being hard to eat.
It's no overpowering and sweet.
Speaking of overpowering sweet, you want any syrup? This is America. No, this is the Americanized version of pain perdu, or French toast. The phrase pain perdu actually comes, or actually translates lost bread. And so where this kind of bread is a more stale baguette, in the origins of it, did I just say this? I probably just said this, but in the origins of pain perdu, it was for bread that had gone bad, or not necessarily bad, but was too hard to eat. They would put it in butter and put it in milk, or not butter, put it in egg and put it in milk, so that it would soften it up and you could eat it. And then we, the Americans or the other, I don't know, French people might have started doing this more, but we took it and added a lot more sweetener to it, and used a sweeter bread, and made the American breakfast treat French toast. Man, it's been a while since I've had actual French toast.
This tastes more like the store-bought one then.
Yeah, it tastes more like one you get in the store, but you can definitely tell the richness of the brioche, and how that adds to the complexity of those flavors. Because brioche has a lot of butter in it, and so there's a very, like a richness in it that you don't get in just regular bread. And then you have the cinnamon in it as well. That's kind of it's not a really overpowering cinnamon, but it's still kind of there. Kind of like the pears last week. And just kind of a subtle cinnamon flavor. I didn't do a cross section of this. If you want to see what that looks like. I never really thought about it till recently, but French toast is almost just like a custard that has bread in it. I'm just like the way that the egg, like the consistency of it's almost like egg custard or an egg pie, but the bread sort of keeps it together. It's like you have the crust and the egg custard put together in the French toast. I'd always thought about doing like a funny video where I was joking about French toast being French, because I didn't think that it actually was in any of its origins. But I actually had one of my friends that lives in France commented on one of my videos and said, "Hey, you should try pain perdu." I was like, "Oh, I wonder what pain perdu is." And like I knew that pain meant bread, and so I googled it and I was like, "Wait, this is pretty much French toast." And so that's why. That's the inspiration for this video. Thank you so much for joining another episode of French Food Friday. I really hope that you enjoyed French toast and pain perdu. I think that this would be a cool little treat to try a traditional French dish that we get one of our dishes for. If you have anything that you would want me to try, just drop that in the comments below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jacob with the Hannah Project, and like my Facebook page, Jacob with the Hannah Project. I hope you'll have a great week, and I can't wait to see you again on French Food Friday. Au revoir. À bientôt.